morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming. Especially thank you so much for the Consulate-General Australia, Ibu Robin, and the staffs. Thank you so much, Mbak Lulu. Thank you for coming. So in this occasion, we'll only have 45 minutes short visit. 45 menit beliau akan bersama kita dan akan sharing mengenai studi dan networking and also scholarships in Australia, right? Last night we had a meeting, alumni gathering at Claro for people who have already got the degree or study in Australia. And now we have the chance to meet Ibu Consulate-General. So this time we would like to present, invite Pak Rektor for the welcoming speech. Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome. His Excellency. His Excellency, this is Nurdin as a Consulate-General of Australian Consulate-General in Makassar. And second, our friends, Mr. Work, also the Consul, because of the Consulate-General of the English, Australian English. Dan teman-teman sekalian, half of them lecture from the University Muhamadiyah Kendari, and half of them Muhammadiyah, Universitas Muhamadiyah students. So they would like to hear what is the kind of perspective program for them, especially in the area of the tax as Consulate-General of the Australian representative of Australian Embassy. So we are really glad to join Mr. Brown akan mendelivery program ya buat kita mungkin separuh in English untuk student dapat mendapatkan bagaimana pronounce yang baik langsung dari native speaker dan juga berikut adalah konten yang dapat kita serap semua. Oleh itu, terima kasih. Saya kembalikan ke moderator. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Pak Rektor. We would like to please Ibu Brown to share something important to us today. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih Pak Rektor. Selamat pagi semua. Dan Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Saya senang sekali ada kesempatan bertemu dengan mahasiswa dari Universitas Muhamadiyah di sini. Wah, luar biasa, begitu banyak untuk saya. Australia dan Indonesia ada tetangga yang dekat ya, apalagi Australia dan Kendari ya. Saya Consul-General Australia di Makassar. Australia ada kedutaan besar di Jakarta yang paling besar di seluruh dunia. Oleh karena Indonesia sama Australia tetangga yang dekat ya. Dan sudah lama, sahabat yang sudah lama. Tapi ada juga 3 Consulate-General Australia di Indonesia. Yang pertama di Bali, yang kedua di Makassar, dan yang ketiga di Surabaya. Nah, saya di Makassar bertanggung jawab atas nama pemerintah Australia 11 provinsi di Indonesia bagian timur. Nah, itu seluruh provinsi Sulawesi, terus Kalimantan Timur, Kalimantan Selatan, Maluku Utara, dan Papua Barat. Nah, dan saya mau memperdalam hubungan antara Australia dan Indonesia bagian timur dalam bidang perdagangan, pendidikan tentu saja, terus bantuan luar negeri dan lain-lain. Nah, tentang pendidikannya, boleh saya bertanya ya, ada beberapa orang yang sudah belajar di Australia? Ada ini. Selamat pagi semua. Ya, ada lagi? Ya. Ya, dan di seluruh provinsi Sulawesi Tenggara ada 87 Australian Alumni di seluruh provinsi, ya, luar biasa ya, luar biasa. Nah, selama 70 tahun pemerintah Australia sudah mendukung pendidikan calon pemimpin Indonesia, ya. This program, I speak English, ya. Kalau tidak mengerti, ya saya bisa ganti dalam bahasa Indonesia. This program started in the 1950s, and it was called the Colombo Plan. And many famous Indonesian, many prominent Indonesians, including foreign ministers, have studied in Australia since that time. And we are very proud of this scholarship system. It is the longest continuously running scholarship program in Indonesia. So it has run for 70 years, and this year we are celebrating the 70th anniversary. And the program aims to choose future leaders of Indonesia and to assist them to study in Australia in fields, in bidang, in sectors, in fakultas, which are priorities for the Indonesian government. We work very closely with the Indonesian government to select the future leaders to join this program, to study in Australia, and to agree on what courses they will be able to study. Australia is very proud of its world-class education system, but we're even more proud of our alumni who come back to Indonesia and give back to their communities, like the people we have met here today. The program, once students come back from Australia, we encourage them to join our Global Alumni Network or Australia Awards Indonesia, and we run a lot of events through the Alumni Network, and we also offer programs or small grant schemes such as the Alumni Grant Scheme, which offers small grants for activities that alumni may wish to organise to support the social and economic development of their communities. So, as I said before, we are very proud of the work that the alumni do when they come back in universities, in the private sector, in civil society, working to develop the economic and social development of Indonesia. For people who are interested in applying for Australia Awards scholarships, the program is now open until May. So, and we have brought with us some information about the program. So please contact us if you would like to learn more about it. But you only have until May to apply. But there is a lot of information online about how to go about applying for these programs and to have a wonderful opportunity to live in Australia and to study in Australia. Other activities that we work with in the Consulate-General in Makassar, we are working to deepen the trade relationship between Australia and Indonesia. We are very close countries, as I said. We are G20 economies. Indonesia is growing at a very fast rate, and Australia would like to be part of that exciting growth and share that economic growth with you. And we believe we have a lot of things we can offer Indonesia, and things of interest to Sulawesi Tenggara, for example, mining. Australia has a lot of expertise in mining and mining services, in tourism, in agriculture. So we hope that we can work together in these sectors. My Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, came to Indonesia just 15 days after his inauguration last year. Jadi tahun yang lalu baru 15 tahun setelah beliau dilantik. Ya, 15 hari setelah beliau dilantik di Australia, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese datang ke Indonesia, ketemu dengan Presiden Jokowi di istana di Bogor, dan tentu saja dia didampingi oleh Menteri Luar Negeri Australia, terus Menteri Perdagangan Australia, dan Menteri Sains dan Industri Australia. Dan setelah itu mereka datang ke Makassar, dan itu wah, luar biasa ya. Tapi beliau atau rombongan itu datang ke Indonesia oleh karena dia mau mengariskan bahwa Indonesia sangat penting bagi Australia. Dan beliau datang ke Makassar sebagai gateway to Eastern Indonesia, ya, karena Australia mengerti bahwa Indonesia much more ya daripada Bali dan Jawa dan Jakarta. Dan sebelum itu hanya ada satu Perdana Menteri yang datang ke Makassar, cuma satu. Jadi kami sangat bangga ya. Terus saya mau menjelaskan sedikit tentang program bantuan luar negeri Australia ya. Selama bertahun-tahun Australia ada Development Assistance Program. Kami kerjasama dengan Bappenas di Jakarta untuk program bantuan luar negeri. Nah, kami berfokus pada pemulihan ekonomi, stabilitas, dan keamanan kesehatan. Dan yang penting, kami melindungi kelompok rentan, termasuk perempuan, anak-anak, dan penyandang disabilitas. Nah, di seluruh Indonesia ada lebih dari 40 inisiatif pembangunan individual, dan ada beberapa di antaranya yang aktif di Sulawesi Tenggara, ya. Jadi, kalau saya bisa menjelaskan sedikit tentang salah satu program itu namanya inklusi, ya. Dalam bahasa Inggris artinya inklusif, ya. Dan itu merupakan program andalan baru Australia. yang fokus pada kesetaraan gender, disabilitas, dan inklusi sosial, dan dilaksanakan bersama beberapa mitra seperti dengan organisasi masyarakat sipil dan pemerintah pusat dan daerah. Dan di Kendari, mitra inklusi bakti mendirikan kelompok konstituen kelurahan Watu-Watu dan bekerja sama dengan Rumpun Perempuan Sulawesi Tenggara. Nah, kelompok konstituen kelurahan Watu-Watu ya, kelurahan ya, kelompok perempuan dan laki-laki yang terpilih serta perwakilan kelompok marginal, karena kami ingin mendorong orang rentannya, orang marginal, biar mereka bisa menerima servis pelayanan ya, dan mereka bisa memperdayakan diri sendiri. Nah, jadi bagi saya sangat bangga atas program itu, dan besok kita ke sana ya, ketemu dengan beberapa orang yang bekerja dengan kami di program itu. Juga Australia mendukung beberapa program nasional, program pemerintah Indonesia, dan salah satunya namanya PAMSIMAS ya. Mungkin ada orang di sini yang tahu tentang PAMSIMAS? Belum ada ya? Ada? Tahu, kerjasama dengan PAMSIMAS, ya bagus. Yaitu program nasional untuk meningkatkan akses pedesaan ke pasokan air, sanitasi, dan infrastruktur dasar yang berkelanjutan. Nah, ya begitu ya. Jadi itu beberapa kegiatan yang kami ada di sini. Tapi di seluruh Indonesia ada lebih dari 40 program bantuan dari Australia. Ya, mungkin ada beberapa pertanyaan.
Ada pertanyaan dari audiens? Ada tambahan dari Pak?
Baik, saya ingin memperkenalkan beberapa teman yang terkait dengan topik terkait dengan inklusi tadi. Ya. Ada Ibu Isna, ya, adalah sekretaris dari pimpinan wilayah ASEAN. ASEAN is special for moving, ya, moving the Muhammadiyah. Jadi Ibu Isna, kemudian ya termasuk teman-teman mulai pada ada 25 dan lain. Kemudian satu higher education institution satu-satunya di Indonesia Timur, di namanya Institut Sains, Teknologi, dan Kesehatan ASEAN. Ada Ibu Rektor, ya, Ibu Rektor Profesor Masumi. Itu adalah perguruan tinggi yang didirikan oleh perempuan satu-satunya di Indonesia Timur, ada di Kendari. Beliau dipercayakan oleh ASEAN sebagai rektor. Oleh itu, ASEAN punya pengalaman yang bagus. Waktu kegiatan TV kemarin ya, TV dia sangat sukses, ada program nasional, mungkin kerjasama juga dengan Australia. Itu berpihak. TV Care ya, TV Care itu selesai dengan sangat bagus. Dan sekarang inklusi sudah berjalan setahun ya, setahun ya. Iya, ya, setahun itu juga kerjasama sama Australia ya. Hanya kerjasama sama Australia untuk dua regensis di sini, dua kabupaten ada di Kolaka ya, Kolaka dan Muna Barat. Ya, anak-anak diraya. Ada dua, itu supported by Australian Global. So probably Ibu Isna would like to give a little bit introduction about the job, current job from ASEAN, supaya bisa nyambung ya. Mungkin programnya broad ya, yang terkait dengan itu, ya gerak terkait gerak itu, kemudian tentunya disupport oleh ASEAN ya, ASEAN perguruan tinggi ya, perguruan tinggi institut sains dan bidang kesehatan, dia connect membina juga perempuan. Oleh itu saya kembali ke moderator, mungkin yang dapat menyambungkan. Kami berharap ada 1-2 program di dalam diskusi kita ini yang dapat di-follow up oleh teman-teman. Ya begitu ya. Mungkin ada yang tertarik atau berproposal atau kontak lebih lanjut untuk kita lebih detail memahami, sehingga program yang sementara kami teman-teman bisa berbuat atau 1-2 program yang kira-kira dapat dikomunikasikan itu dapat di-follow up. Ada beberapa juga ahli NGO yang juga bergabung di sini. Ada Pak Sikman, ada Pak Nurdin, ada beberapa kawan-kawan lain juga ada pengalaman bekerja di sini. Di bidang itu yang dapat disampaikan. Oke, saya kembali ke moderator. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama Pak Rektor. Jadi ada satu rencana program yang nanti akan dipropos Ibu Sekretaris ASEAN, Ibu Isna Maira, dan bisa kontak dengan Pak Lulu. Ada Pak Lulu di depan Bu Isna ada Pak Lulu, bisa kontak untuk disambungkan ke Ibu Bro. Terima kasih Pak Rektor. Selanjutnya ada tanya-tanya ke Ibu Bro. Khususnya ada bahasa Inggris ini di belakang sekali sana, ada English students. They really like to study abroad, especially in Australia. They really like to follow the lecture, like they have lecturers who study also as well there. Ya, anak bahasa Inggris ada yang mau bertanya tentang education and networking and study in Australia. Pertukaran, silakan. Oh, yes, we have one. Yes, please. Yes, come in. Ini tidak ada.
Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity. Before, welcome to University of Kendari. Thank you for coming here. So, just a short question. So, a while ago you said about the scholarship, about how we make a future leader of Indonesia. So, can you give us advanced explanation about this, man? Just as advanced explanation about the scholarship. Thank you.
So your question is about scholarship, because as we heard just now about the collaboration between Australia and Indonesia in terms of education, and you now just ask a question related to scholarship. Thank you so much for your question. You may find a seat. Thank you, Razak. His name is Razak, Al-Fatah Razak from the English department. Give a round of applause to Razak, please. Ibu, are you going to
Yes.
present that directly? Okay,
Thank you very much for your question. It's a very good question, and there are actually many opportunities. There are many opportunities for people to study in Australia. And as I said before, the Australian government is delighted to sponsor some of these opportunities, because we really want to share our world-class education with our friends from Indonesia, because not only do you benefit, the students benefit, but Australia benefits too. Australia is a very multicultural country. Misalnya, kita ada lebih dari 600,000 Muslim di Australia, misalnya, contoh ya, dan 2 menteri kabinet di Kabinet Perdana Menteri Anthony Albanese, 2 menteri adalah orang Islam. Nah, itu pertama kali di seluruh Australia. Dan salah seorangnya datang ke Jakarta dan Makassar tahun yang lalu. Tapi saya digress ya. Opportunities to study in Australia, Australia Awards yang didukung itu beasiswa pemerintah Australia, dan saya ada informasi di sini yang saya bisa taruh kepada siapa yang tertarik oleh itu. Ya. Jadi mahasiswa bisa mendaftar dari 1 Februari sudah lewat sampai 30 April atau 1 Mei. Dulu yang mengkorek saya ya, 1 Mei. Ditulis di sini 30 April tapi memang 1 Mei. Jadi ada 1 hari lagi untuk mendaftarkan. Nah, Australia Awards sangat kompetitif ya, saya harus jujur, sangat kompetitif, dan itu ditawarkan kepada seluruh Indonesia. Tapi kalau ada yang tertarik ya bisa melihat informasi bagaimana mendaftar. Tapi ada proses ya, dan harus ada English standard ya, harus ada English standard tentu saja, karena kalau mau belajar di Australia, language of tuition is all in English. But other opportunities, Australian universities offer their own scholarships to international students. They vary, they are different at different universities, but they can offer assistance for tuition fees, living allowance, and other things. I should actually add, for the Australian government scholarships, they cover tuition fees, which are very high, but not as high as the US or the UK, travel allowance, establishment to move to Australia, and a small monthly living allowance, health insurance, and travel insurance. Nah, ada peluang lagi namanya LPDP ya, LPDP, Indonesian Endowment Fund for Education, lembaga pengelola dana pendidikan yang dikelola oleh Mendikbudristek di Jakarta ya, dari pusat. Nah, Menteri Pendidikan Pak Naim ya, Nurdin, dia sudah memperbesarkan, can we say, memperbesarkan. Your national minister for education has extended the LPDP program. He deeply values Indonesian students having the opportunity to study overseas. So he has made more funding available to Indonesian students. And I have met many Australian alumni who have studied under the LPDP scheme. So there are a range of Australian institutions that you can apply to under this scheme, and applications are open 4 times a year. That is an Indonesian government program, but it enables you to study in a range of Australian universities. And that program also offers travel allowance, tuition fees, and a living allowance. There are other scholarships. You may know about the Ministry of Religious Affairs also offers scholarships as well. I think the program is called 5,000 Doctors, is that right? Yes. Yes, and Dari Mora. And it's targeted at lecturers from Islamic education institutions who want to study a PhD. So that's another opportunity. And finally, the Dikti scholarships. There are also, the Indonesian government also offers Dikti scholarships for PhD students in Australia. So a large number of opportunities, and we have the information for you. And this, this map here that I will hold up, it will show you where the universities are in Australia. So I suggest that you, if you are interested in studying, you need to do a lot of research on what field you want to study, where the best university is for your field, because some universities focus on some faculties, some sectors, and others focus on others. And you also need to think about where you want to live, because Australia is a very big continent and these universities are spread out in different places. So I'm very happy to share this information, and thank you for your question and good luck.
Thank you so much. Give a round of applause to Ibu Brown. Thank you. Sekedar informasi, to unlock the opportunity tadi ada 4 jenis scholarship kerjasama Indonesia Australia, baik mora untuk yang doktor di Kemenak, di Kemendikbud dan AAS juga LPDP. Untuk meng-unlock opportunity itu kami sudah punya banyak sekali tes di sana. Ada tes TOEFL ITP dan tes IELTS. To unlock the opportunity to study abroad is by coming to us at UPT Bahasa. Thank you so much. Iklan juga ini ya. Betul ya? Oke. Baik Bapak Ibu, terima kasih banyak. Selanjutnya ada satu pertanyaan dari dosen. Silakan. Dosen Pak Muri, saya lihat pengen sekali studi di Australia. Oh ada, oh iya, ini dari Pendidikan Agama Islam from Islamic Faculty, Pak Amri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amril and I have one question. My question is to find another scholarship is really hard about the application letter or the recommendation from the professor inside of the university because we are trying to complete the term and condition recently, but the difficult for us, especially the young lecturer in Indonesia, because recently I have tried to register at Australia Award Scholarship and trying to choose a UniMelb and in Sydney, Perth or another university in Australia from Indonesia, but the difficulties that I found just how to receive the recommendation letter from the professor inside of the university that I choose trying to apply. Thank you.
Itu Pak Amri, pertanyaan Pak Amri ini mau minta bantuan sama Ibu. Jadi kalau Ibu ada kenalan di sana bisa bantu untuk memberikan rekomendasi. Terima beliau di sana. Please, thank you.
Mas Amril ya, terima kasih banyak atas pertanyaan. Itu memang pertanyaan yang baik ya. Kami mengerti itu proses untuk mendaftar untuk beasiswa sangat susah ya. Kami mengerti itu. Tapi proses itu penting sekali ya, karena kalau tidak ada proses, siapa tahu ya bagaimana mendaftar. Dan kalau mau degree dari Australian University ya harus work through seluruh proses-proses. Tapi setiap university di Australia ada international office ya, dan ada orang di international office itu yang bisa membantu. calon yang mau mendaftar. Jadi harus kontak international office untuk itu.
But the question about is it's really hard to find the recommendation from the professor inside of the
university, such as to complete the term and one condition. So I not remain the help for contacting the inside of university, but the recommendation letter to pursuing the scholarship in that uni, like in Melbourne, Sydney, or something else.
At the international office of the Melbourne University or the Sydney University, they can help you with that. They put you in touch with the staff of the faculty who can help you with your application. That's part of their job, because they know it is difficult for international students.
Especially to pursue the doctoral program is need to one have the subject
Yes.
for complete the term and condition before we collect or submit the applicant of our scholarship.
Yes, yes. No, so your lecturers here and the international office of each university can help you to connect with a lecturer or a supervisor in the university you would like to apply for.
Because we really have to find the contact from the website or something else, like the website of the scholarship itself and the website of the university that we want to apply the scholarship. Thank you.
Mungkin salah satu tipsnya Mas bisa kontak dengan alumni Australia. Jadi kan alumni Australia punya banyak sekali profesor, para guru yang pernah mereka temani di Australia sana. Jadi bisa dicocokkan field yang mana, misalnya sama Pak Rektor, dia punya pengalaman dengan Profesor A. Jadi bisa dapat kontaknya dari Pak Rektor.
Iya, memang kesulitannya di situ, Bu. Jadi sangat sulit menemukan ketika sudah ada judul ataupun universitas tujuan, kesulitannya adalah meminta rekomendasi dari profesor yang ada di universitas tujuan.
Betul, karena profesornya juga harus cocokkan field dengan bapaknya. Jadi kalau misalnya tidak cocok, harus cari yang lain.
Nah, itu kesulitannya saat ini.
Semangat Pak Amril. Thank you Pak Amril. I guess itu cukup. Nanti bisa konsultasi juga di UPT Bahasa. Nanti kami akan untuk connect ya, untuk connect keluar. Baik. One more question, one last question I guess. Satu lagi. Oh ya, ada Pak. Ini berlantai.
Saya Bani saya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak Rektor, His Excellency Ms. Brown, Consulate-General Australia. We are happy to have you here. As you said, that Indonesia and Australia has good long relationship. But not only that, Muhammadiyah also has a very good relationship with Australia. Muhammadiyah has Muhammadiyah Australian College in Victoria. This is the first academic institutions that Muhammadiyah established overseas. I have one question. You explained about the opportunity to continue a PhD with the various scholarship offer. Is there any opportunity for us to have special training, or what you call it, the tailored training, field training, something like that, or special group? Like for example, like some of us from Universitas Muhamadiyah Kendari, we can offer 20 lecturers wants to have research training in Australia. Is there any opportunity from the Australian government to support this activity. So of course, 14 months or 4 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your interesting question. I didn't mention earlier that the Australia Awards program also offers short courses. So in addition to S2, S3, beasiswa untuk S2, S3, ada juga kira-kira 12 kursus singkat yang ditawarkan oleh Australia Awards every year. Nah, apa topiknya disetujui oleh kedua pemerintah. Everything disetujui oleh pemerintah Australia dan pemerintah Indonesia. Tapi sebagai contoh, examples of short courses that are offered this year, renewable energy is one, which I think is very topical, because the Indonesian government and the Australian government are both very committed to reducing carbon emissions and exploring renewable energy options. In fact, the whole world is very committed to this, but Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and President Jokowi spoke about the importance of climate change and working to reduce climate change as a priority. So that's one course that we offer, a short course. Sustainable tourism is another short course that we offer, which I think might be of interest to our friends here today, given how beautiful Sulawesi Tenggara is. Sustainable tourism is something that can really help boost the economy of places like Sulawesi Tenggara. But your question is, could a course be tailored for staff from here? We don't really have a facility for that, but we do. Some of your staff may be interested to apply for some of the short courses in other subjects. Sebagai contoh ya, in Makassar, we had a multi-faith short course, Leaders of Multi-Faith Religions short course, and they were all women, and they did this short course, and they came back to Makassar, and they set up the Women's Leadership Forum, and they still undertake, this was several years ago now, and those women leaders still undertake a number of activities. I think it has done quite a lot to support interfaith dialogue in Makassar. So that I just tell you that as an example. And there's one other program that the Australian government offers which might be of interest to you and your staff, and that is the Muslim Exchange Program. As I mentioned, we have 600,000 Muslims in Australia, including 2 cabinet ministers, and we believe there is a lot of value in sharing ideas about what it means to be a young Muslim in Australia and what it means to be a young Muslim in Indonesia. So through this program, young leaders are selected from Indonesia and Australia, and they travel to each other's countries. And they meet a range of imam and academics and government officials and talk about the role of Islam in the respective countries. And I have met some participants of this program, and it's a really valuable experience to know that we are same but different, yeah? But we share many of the same values. So that's another opportunity that you and your staff may be interested in applying for, and I thoroughly recommend that program. So I hope that has answered your question. Not quite the answer you wanted, but there are opportunities, and the short courses, the Australia Award short courses, we advertise on our social media at Konjen Makassar. I hope you will all follow us on @Konjen Makassar. we advertise all of these opportunities on our website. So if you follow us, you will know when the Muslim exchange program, for example, is open for daftar, or you will know when the Australia Award short courses are open. And if you follow our social media, you'll also know when the small grant scheme, alumni grant scheme that I mentioned earlier is open. For those of you interested in applying for funding for a small grant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pertanyaan dari Pak Dikman itu bisa didengarkan oleh Pak Amril tadi. Ada satu hal yang menarik, ada Muslim Exchange Program khusus untuk PAI, itu sangat bagus sekali ini. Ada Multi-Faith Program dan Muslim Exchange Program bisa diambil kesempatan ini. Thank you so much. Masih ada waktu? Sudah habis. Ini mau ke wali kota lagi ya? Baik. For concluding remarks, we would like to invite, first of all, before I give the chance to the Rector, I would like to invite my Head of English Department, as here we have a lot of participants from English Department. Please, sir.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'd like to welcome Ms. Browning. Well, yeah, I think today we have got lots of information that really valuable for us, and then for the students itself, and for lecturers also. I think, yeah, I myself interested in education also, and I think one thing that's about treatment, as you mentioned, yeah. This is my interest, so let's talk to Ululu in another time. Well, thank you. I give to Memorial.
Thank you. Pak Rektor will say the last concluding remark is from Ibu Brown. Ibu Brown, do you have something to say before you leave? Thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure to come here today to this wonderful Muhammadiyah University and to have the opportunity to meet you and talk to you and to congratulate your new rector. We are really delighted to have an Australian alumni as your new rector. But education is the foundation of our relationship, because it's people talking to people that creates a relationship, and we are very happy to have had the opportunity to meet you, to meet some of you who have studied in Australia, and I hope our alumni will inspire other people to apply to study in Australia, or to read more about Australia and learn more about Australia. We're very close neighbours and friends. But once again, thank you very much for your very warm welcome. It's been a great pleasure to be here this morning. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That is all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.